Hi, everybody.
Hello there.
I'm Jerry.
And I'm Linda, and this is Gizmo.
We're the Village's Newcomers, and it's time once again for...
Send us your questions, we've got your answers. Jerry and Linda's Mailbag Monday.
Mondays come so fast.
They do. That's because we're having so much fun.
I think it is, but time really does fly when you're retired.
I think so.
It's going to be hard to top last week's show, but we're going to do our best. You remember Linda's hair? We got it all back to the natural color.
Oh, yeah, natural.
But I did a good job, don't you think? Huh?
It's not falling out yet.
Yeah. Let's talk about the crowds here. We went to a restaurant the other night.
Yes, we did.
Had kind of a rough time. It was pretty crowded.
Yeah.
I don't know if it really was not crowded, but there weren't many servers.
That's the
And
problem.
we're going to talk about that in just a little bit. But people, that's one of the top questions we get. How are the crowds? Are the snowbirds back? No, the snowbirds aren't back yet. They're drifting in. They're flying in one or two at a time. We have a lot of snowbird friends, and they're not back yet.
No.
But that
We
makes
miss
it.
them.
Yeah, we miss them.
them.
And it's alarming that some of the crowds are as big as they are. She'll talk about that in a minute because they're not back yet. There are 2 new restaurants coming to Brownwood.
Oh, wow. Yay.
It's kind of a funny name, the Island Fin Poke Restaurant.
Oh, that's going to be a Hawaiian type thing.
Is it? And the Harvest in Brownwood. And then there's a couple coming to Spanish Springs, Nothing But Cakes.
Oh, that's going to be a nice one.
But more importantly, a KFC
Oh, that's right.
coming
Very
up there to
important
Highway
you.
to 466. Looking forward to that. If I was on death row, I think that would be my last meal. I think I would go for extra crispy KFC.
Whole bucket.
Let's get on to our shout outs. Lots of people to recognize this week. We have Mike and Vicky from New York. We have Terry and Mike from Missouri. Lisa and Bob. Mark and Sharon from Fresno, California. Alan Camp from Connecticut. And June and Henry from New Jersey. Always a pleasure to bump into people. And we enjoy when you send us pictures of yourselves. So thank you so much for that. And remember, if you have one of our t-shirts, send us a pic and we'll put it on Mailbag Monday for you. You ready to go to the first question?
I think we're ready.
All right.
The first one's from Vicky from Switzerland. How many homes are in a village?
I love getting questions from Switzerland.
I do too. It's amazing to me.
Yeah. Or everywhere. I mean, there's so many places far away. That's what the internet does.
Yeah.
We're all just
A snap away.
186,000 miles a second, right?
Yeah.
It is great. She wants to know how many homes are in a village. Vicky, we did go to Switzerland a couple of years ago.
Oh man, well, that was a beautiful trip.
We loved it. We actually, what would you like? You like the cows?
I
didn't
love
you?
the cows with the cowbells just meandering along the Alps and everywhere, and you can just hear them tink, tink, tink.
Yes,
tink,
we were in
tink.
the Alps. We went up one of those trams. In fact, it was a really state-of-the-art, futuristic
Was
tram.
it a gondola?
Yeah, it was a gondola type
Yeah.
of thing. Yeah, not a tram. I guess, I don't know.
I don't remember.
But we were on top of it.
Yeah, we
up
got
in the Alps.
We got to go on top.
And it was really cool. And it was in the area of Lucerne. Really nice. So, Vicky, we love where you live. What did you find out about the homes?
Well, you can find a lot of that in this book, which is a fantastic book. It's the Newcomer Guide. So you'll get that when you are a resident here. And then it tells you all about the neighborhoods and how big they are. And one of these days I'll probably put them in order, like which is the smallest, which is the biggest. But right now, Dunedin, our village, has 1,255 homes, which is about 2,400 residents, 2,460. Hillsboro's a little smaller. It's 968 homes with 898 residents. And then a little bigger village is Duval, and it has 1,550 homes and 3,009 residents.
I read that myself, and I found that the homes average just a little bit under 2 people per home because you get some singles.
Sure.
And you have a few people that have a third person living with them. So about 2 people per home.
Yeah.
Is that what you kind of thought?
I thought so.
I mean, that there'd be Dunedin 1,255 homes.
That's
That's
right.
a lot of homes.
Yeah, there's a lot of homes.
Dunedin's in different sections. We're in section number 200.
Right. I think there's like 3 or 4 sections of Dunedin.
Not sure about that. But so that gives you an idea of how many people are in each village. Those little diagrams I threw up there are not very complete, but they're also in that book.
Sure.
Yeah,
you can find it.
that. Royce asks, does the villages recycle paper, plastic, and aluminum? Royce, that's a yes and no question. On first appearance, no, because we put it all out in one bag twice a week on Mondays and Thursdays. We'll put out one trash bag and the trash people pick it up, throw it in the back of the truck, go on their merry way. We didn't like that because when we first moved here, we had 3 different bags, a clear one for recyclables. We had a black bag for garbage, and a brown bag for lawn clippings, tree branches, palm fronds, etc.
Right.
Now we don't bother with any of that. Everybody here has been instructed to put all your waste in one bag and set it out there. Not only one bag. You could have 5 bags if you wanted to, but you put it all together in a bag and put it out there. So it's a little disturbing, isn't it, that there's no recycling? But we found out that that's not really true because it's a different kind of recycling. It's recycled into an incinerator where it's burned and made into heat energy for something or other.
Yeah. So it's being recycled.
Being
on
recycled.
a different scale or a different
Just not
resource.
Not being sorted.
Yes.
Tim has some questions about golf. He wants to know if you can join a championship course at an annual rate. They don't work that way, Tim. Our championship courses are available to anybody that wants to play them. No one can buy a membership and walk in and play without paying. Here's a sheet, you can see it on the screen there, for January 1st to May 31st golf rates. Now that's during snowbird season, so the rates are going to be higher.
Right.
You can see at this group of courses, Belglade, Bonifay, Cane Garden, Evans Prairie, Glenview, etc., that for a priority member, now that means you've paid for a priority membership, you can play for $47. Now that's in the morning, peak time. A resident member like myself would have to pay $64. So you get a $17 discount for becoming a priority member. We'll talk about the charges for that in just a minute. Now, if you're a guest of a priority member, you'd pay $69 to play. And if you're a guest of a resident member, again, like myself, you'd pay $74. If you walk in off the street, $84 to play a round of golf, January 1st through May 31st. Now that changes. On June 1st through December 31st, you can play at a discount, and that's when I like to play. At those same courses, it would be in the morning, if we're going to compare apples to apples, $36 for a priority member to play, $45 for a resident member. So it's gone down about $19 a round to play in the off season. I like to play the third wave. There you get a real discount. For example, a priority member can play for $16 after 4 o'clock. And those times are variable depending on that second wave of golfers. $19 for a resident member like myself. I can play 9 holes for half of that. So that's pretty affordable. People ask us all the time, what if you don't have clubs? Can you rent clubs at the golf courses? Yes, you can. Sarasota has clubs for rent. I think that Palmer might have clubs for rent, maybe Lopez. I'm not sure which ones. But it's pricey. It costs as much to rent clubs for an 18-hole round as it does to play at some of the surrounding courses here locally. It's $25 to rent clubs for 18 holes. You can see that at the bottom of the sheet there. Tim also wants to know, are there leagues to join? No, there are no leagues. But they do have Men's Day and they have Ladies' Day when you can go play in an organized setting. Your neighborhood may have
Right.
organizations.
Most of the neighborhoods have a girls' league or a women's league and a men's league for championship or executive. So you can choose.
She belongs to the ladies group, and
Yeah.
it plays on Tuesdays. There's another one here that plays on Thursdays.
Yes.
So there are organized golf, and it'll be all throughout the villages. The executive course fees, let's take a look at that graphic. $7 in the off season to play. That does not include a cart. During peak season, it's $11 to play. Now on the executives, you can walk and play if you like, but if you decide you want to ride, you have to pay $4. Everybody pays that $4 unless you
Yes.
have that trail pass. Okay, so what does the trail pass cost? Well, let's look at the championship priority golf membership. You can see that you can be a priority member, husband and wife, for a year for $925. That includes country club pools, executive trail fee, and your priority membership. You can join individually if you like, or you could join for 6 months. Without that, if you just want to buy the trail membership to save that $4 every time you play, it's about $141, give or take. It changes every now and then. I'm not sure what the going rate is. About $141.
And you pay that yearly.
You pay that once a year. And you got to remember to pay it. I walked up
Yeah, to one course.
not too long ago. I walked up to play, and the guy says, "You owe me $4 for a trail fee." And I said, "No, I've got a membership." And he said, "Nope, you owe me $4 to play." And I said, "That's got to be a mistake." Well, it was a mistake. It was my mistake.
Oh,
So,
forgot to pay. You got to pay the
I
man.
had to pay the
Pay
$4,
the
and then I
man.
had to go renew. You have to remember that it's your responsibility to renew.
Mm-hmm.
This is a really good question, and it's frequently asked to us. In fact, we get questions weekly to recommend real estate agents, both villages and MLS agents, to help people. The question is from Rob in St. Charles, Missouri. He asks, is there any advantage to using a villages realtor versus a non-villages realtor? This is a difficult question. It's apples and oranges.
Yeah.
If you want to buy a home that is listed for sale by the villages, and that includes every single new home, you have to use a villages sales agent. So you'll need one of those if you want to look at a villages property. However, many homes in the villages are resales that are listed through other real estate companies. RE/MAX comes to mind.
Mm-hmm.
ERA.
Sally Love.
You have to have an MLS agent
Right.
to purchase those homes, to even tour those homes. So you'll need both if you want access to every single home that's for sale in the villages. And there aren't too many, and the ones that are here are going pretty fast. So ideally, you would have two agents. We only had one. We're totally happy. We went
Yes.
through the villages. We had a great guy. He works with his wife. Perfect. No problems whatsoever. However, if we couldn't have found this home and we had to look at homes that were listed on the MLS, we would have needed to get another agent.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the scoop on that. Here's one from Abner in New York City.
Abner. I've not heard that name for
Yeah.
a while.
Here's one from Abner, New York City. Tell us the real scoop. Is the Florida summer heat unbearable? It's hot enough up here. I can't imagine how hot it must become down there.
Oh, it's been hot all over the country. Even in Indiana, where we're from, it was hotter sometimes more there this summer than it was here. And they're dealing with humidity too. So yeah, it gets hot everywhere this summer for sure.
Our friends in Wisconsin were,
Yep.
and Minnesota, were both
Yeah,
complaining about the heat.
but it is hot here.
It's hot. Oh my gosh, it's hot down here. I remember when we went on vacation, this was 30 years ago. We went to Sears, probably in Clearwater. I came out in that parking lot. I thought I was going to die. It's so hot. But listen, there are over 30 million people living here in Florida. 30 million. They adapt. Somehow you learn to work with it. But I'll tell you what, if there was ever a mass power shortage, I'm out of here.
It's gonna be
You got to have air
It's gonna
conditioning.
be a traffic jam. You know, you don't go anywhere. I don't without a bottled water or water with ice, a container with ice, and a cooling towel when I go golfing. So you get prepared whenever you leave the house that you're going to be hot.
I'm not good at that.
No.
I like to just go, and then when I'm out there, I get thirsty.
Yes.
But it's hot. It's very hot, Abner. I know it was really hot in I remember back in where we lived in Indiana. My goodness, the last year we lived there, I went out and worked in the backyard again. Thought I was going to die.
Oh, it was 104 on July 4th one time. Yeah.
The max temperature since we've been down here has been 97, I believe. It's muggy though. It gets
Well, the
very
heat
humid.
index goes way up too. So, but it's going to be hot, but you got to be prepared for it. But is it better than shoveling snow?
It's not so much the heat, it's the stupidity. Steve Hudson writes, if I go by what I see in the national news, it sounds like Florida is in tough shape. What's the real scoop? By the way, I'm fully vaccinated. Thanks. Steve, we see what you see. We watch the news and we see how terrible it is in Florida. However, in our neighborhood, we don't see it. At our rec centers, we don't see it. On the golf courses, we don't see it.
Well, the mask wearing is way down compared to 2 years ago. I mean, or a year and a half ago, whenever it was. But we keep distance as much as we can, but we're not as tight as we used to be.
We had two neighbors here finally, though, that did become infected with COVID. They're fine. They got through it just fine.
They did.
And we happened to be close with them a few days before. And so we took precautions afterward and secluded, and she got tested. And, everything's good. But we're fine. We're still being cautious. We try to limit face-to-face contact with people. We may see people, but we try to maintain that safe distance.
Yeah.
Linda's short. People do spit on her every once in a while.
I have trouble with that because it's true. I'm short, and a lot of people will find they're towering over me, and I've been glicked on, and I get nervous because I do get the fallout and the breath, and that's scary for short people.
Glicked on.
I did. I got glicked on, and I remember exactly where. This is from Rick and Wendy from Long Island. Our question is, being from New York, we love a good bagel or a slice of pizza. Are there any good bagel or pizza joints down there? Because if not, forget about it.
Forget about it. I like that. I'm a big Sopranos fan.
Well, there are a few places. I called my friend Susan here in the neighborhood that's from New York, and she said that the New York Deli on 441 is an excellent place for bagels, and they have great cakes too, she said. And there's another bagel place on 441. Don't remember the name.
Doesn't matter.
But anyway, yes, you're going to find good bagels and good pizza.
Pizza, though, that's people are pizza snobs.
Yeah.
If you're from Chicago, you think there's only one kind of pizza.
Right,
If you're from
Chicago.
New York, you
That's
like
right.
the New York pizza. We found quite a few good pizza places here. Not as good as back home, but good. I'll give you some good ones. Paisanos, we like.
We like
Flippers has good pizza.
good pizza. Roberto's.
Roberto's, we had a really good pizza.
That was a meat lover's pizza because we do love meat, and it was so heavy. Oh my goodness, you could hardly carry it.
Stavros
Yes, that's
is
great.
another one. So there's plenty of good pizza places. They deliver. You won't be on withdrawal from pizza if you move here. But again, will it be as good as your pizza that you're getting now? I doubt it. Vicky has another question all the way from Switzerland. What percentage of homes have pools? And do people nowadays choose to use community pools, also giving them a good chance to socialize, as opposed to having the expense of building and upkeep of their own pool? Good question.
There are a lot of pools being built since COVID, though. We've noticed quite a few, and the pool builders are like a year out with people wanting to get pools. So that's crazy.
That's right. You can see them coming up. We always like to watch the progress because it's slow.
Yeah.
And like you said, a year out.
Yes.
We really wanted a pool. We've been looking for a home with a pool. But we have since changed our mind because if you get that pool, you have to pay for the pool. That's going to be $100,000 to $150,000.
You're going to have the yard.
You've got to have higher taxes on that pool. You're going to have a higher electric bill. You're going to have to hire a pool boy or girl to come and clean that pool. There's a lot
and
of extra
sprinklers. You have to get the yard that goes around it.
Yeah,
you
that's
have
the
to
thing.
Water the grass.
If you want a pool, you have to have a certain type of yard. We live in an interior lot. Impossible to have a pool. You could have a pool sometimes if you have a cul-de-sac lot because they're pie-shaped. They go out like this, and in the back you might have room for a pool. Maybe not. If you have a corner lot, you have sometimes room for a pool. Again, maybe not. So I went around and looked to see how many homes had pools. I only know of 2 interior lots here in our neighborhood that have pools. 2 out of the hundreds and hundreds of homes. Corner lots, we know of a few. And cul-de-sacs, we know of a few. More than a few in the cul-de-sacs. But also view lots, like over here on Valley Brook or over here on Pickering Path. They sometimes have larger backyards. They're premium lots. They paid a premium price.
Right.
They may have room for a pool. But overall, 10% max, I think. 10% have pools. Could be wrong. What you need to do is you hire an airplane.
A drone.
Fly over and count. I'm betting 10%.
You might be able to do Google search.
Yeah, it gets you.
Google search and go over the top. You can see it. You can see
Just
the
get your
pools.
Google map.
Get your
Look at that
Google map.
satellite photo.
You'll see it. And
You'll see there are not that many on the interior lots. Bob and Girl.
I think it's Gerald.
Gerrl. Are there any bingo halls or casinos in the villages?
Well, I called my friend Barbara, and she said yes. Well, not in the villages. Well, there are bingo games in the villages, like clubs, and you can go to the rec centers and play bingo. But the American Legion halls outside of the villages, you're going to be able to play bingo, but we won't have a typical bingo hall. There are no casinos in the villages. But Oxford has a room called Oxford Downs, which I guess is the closest thing to be that casino. And there is a real casino in Hard Rock, Tampa. So,
That's a long way away.
Yeah, so if you want to have a real casino, you have to go to Tampa.
Rec centers, Legion halls.
Yeah.
You can get your bingo fix, Bob and Girl.
You'll have to go a little farther for your casino.
Bring your daubers. John writes, what villages are more prone to sinkholes? John, that's a good question. It's impossible to say. Sinkholes are rare. We had sinkholes in Indiana. If you saw our show a week or two ago, you saw that we had multiple sinkholes on our property up there because it was limestone topography. Same here, sand, limestone, lots of rain. There are sinkholes. We don't have any in this neighborhood. Once in a while, we'll see a cone placed on a road where there's a depression.
Right.
They fix it. We haven't seen any of those go into full-blown sinkholes.
Yeah.
We did see the 3. You saw the feature last week, I bet, where I tried to get in there and show you those sinkholes at the golf course that were in a pond. That's the common element for the sinkholes that we've heard about here. They're near ponds. The ponds are connected by a piping system, running water, lots of rain, you get erosion, and that's how they've happened. I wouldn't worry about it. You know, if you're going to get one, you're going to get one. Yes, you can get insurance for it. We have insurance for sinkholes and for catastrophic ground collapse. This letter is from Armando. I'd be happy to know how often home prices increase in the villages and the percentages of the increase. Again, Armando, that's impossible to say. These prices are increasing Every second since the beginning of this show, they've gone up.
Ruh-roh.
It's supply and demand. As long as people want to move here, those prices are going to go up. There's no rhyme or reason to the amount that they go up. It's just how bad do you want it? A lot of it's impulse buying, and some of it is emotional. Some people are eager to get out of whatever state they're wanting to leave, and they'll pay extra to come down here. But it's impossible to predict.
This is from SS Green. Since there is a heavy use of pesticide to maintain golf courses and common areas and lawns, are there any butterflies, honeybees, or birds that eat those insects? Are they still living in the villages? So are they affected? Well,
We haven't seen any sign of that. You know, there are plenty of insects and there are
Yes.
plenty of birds eating them
oh
and
yes.
lizards. Linda, we were sitting right here yesterday and she saw a bird swoop down and eat a lizard.
Yes.
And that lizard was just about to eat a bug.
Yes.
And so we have all kinds of birds. We have butterflies. We have.
Yes, this is a beautiful butterfly that was found. It was called an African something, whatever. But anyway, there's a lot of butterfly clubs here, and they grow their own and hatch them out. So yeah, there are butterflies that are living here, and birds and bugs.
We haven't noticed any adverse reactions to the insecticides. It's time for our last question. Joe wants to know about bidets. We were introduced to bidets by a friend in Sarasota. We decided to install one down there. After using it a short time, we wondered why it took us so long to get one. When we got back to New York in the spring, we quickly installed one there. What I thought was a crazy French contraption turned out to be a nice addition to our bathroom. You're exactly right. We had a bidet
In Tokyo.
in Tokyo.
Yes.
I had seen it years ago, took Linda back. We came home and decided to get one of our own. And we did, and we love it. And here's a little video. Coming into the bathroom. Here's the toilet. And this is not technically a bidet. This is a washlet. This is made by the Toto company. You can see it there. It is not a big integral part of the toilet. It is a unit that sits on top of the existing toilet. You will need an electrical outlet about that close to your toilet. So we highly encourage you, if you're building, put an outlet behind the toilet, and then you can have one of these. I'm not going to operate it for you today because we plan to do that in a new show, but I do want to show you this. That slow close toilet seat. Don't know why anybody would have a regular one now. It's so nice. There it is, the Toto washlet. They used to be tough to get during the pandemic, but now they're back down to normal price. You can get that for about $300, maybe a little less if you're lucky. And we highly recommend it. Look for it on an upcoming show. You can see it's a nice addition, especially during COVID when toilet paper was hard to get.
That was great.
Easy peasy. They're not that expensive, as you heard, about $300. Easy install. It fits on top of your existing toilet. We're going to have a show in the near future where we show one of these in action. Stay tuned for that one. All right, buddy, you've been very patient. Are you ready for your segment?
I don't know. He's been patient. He's been
You've
growling.
been growling a
He's
little
been
bit.
whining.
It's okay. All right, what do you got today?
Dad read me a letter that said we better watch out because there was a bobcat in our neighborhood. People are afraid of bobcats, and they're afraid of alligators, and they're afraid of coyotes, and all kinds of stuff. But you know what? The Center for Disease Control says that the most dangerous animal in Florida is none of those. It's a mosquito. So they advise when you go out, especially near nightfall, wear some insect repellent. Ha! bobcats. You know, I was born to hunt badgers. A bobcat ain't nothing to me. It's getting ridiculous when we go out these days. I guess I'm getting famous or something, 'cause there's always this large group of paparazzi trying to take my picture. Paparazzi. I just tell them, you know what, leave me alone, please. I've had a rough day.
Once again, you've outdone yourself, my friend.
You're a funny guy.
Hey, thanks to all of you that tuned in today. Be sure to watch this Thursday. We've got a great show for you. We have a couple of Marines coming in here to talk about VA benefits here in the villages.
Yes.
You know, we need to take care of our ex-military, and they're going to tell you about the VA program here.
Mailbag Monday.
If you liked our show today, please press that like button and subscribe. Until next time.
See you when you get here.